Good morning, good morning. So I've just spent the last 3 minutes messing around with the light because it's just the weirdest grey, orange, it's such a weird light. I'm hoping that it means we're going to get some rain and some more storms, but if it's anything like yesterday, loads of thunder, loads of lightning, like 2 raindrops, which is not what we need. So good morning. I have my window open, so I'm sorry if you can hear the occasional bit of background noise, but if I don't, I will expire because obviously it's about 1,000,000 degrees still, even though it's cloudy. So how are you all doing? Hop on and say hi to me if you are watching live. If you're watching the replay, please tell me as well. And as I ask any questions, if you've got any observations, comments, even if you're watching the replay, please put them in because I will be notified and I will go in and have a look. And I'll have that debate with you, I'll comment, I'll reply. Love seeing your comments on what we do. So for those of you that are joining for the first time, massive welcome. This is my regular Thursday morning slot. So every single Thursday morning, 10:30, unless something dramatic happens, I will be here, I will be live. Emma, good morning. And I pick a different topic each week, maybe something that's going on in my business, something that I'm learning about, something that has come up with clients that I want to share with you. But it's all based around building your business, so getting your head in the right space for moving your business forward, getting some practical elements in place for moving you into a place where you've got what feels like a successful business. So today, brand new topic, and this is a really new topic for me as well. We're talking about something called the law of compensation. So if anyone's heard of this, tell me yes, you've already studied it, you're probably going to know more than me. If you've never heard of it, even better, because we can debate it together. Hi, good morning, Rosanna. So the law of compensation came across my path recently. I have started following somebody new that I was introduced to by a friend of mine who said, you'll like what they do. And they were talking about this in the context of setting goals. Now, anyone that's followed me for any length of time knows that I love a goal. Used to hate them, used to resent them massively, but now I absolutely use them for myself. I really advocate the use of them for those who I work with. And there's a big pull for me for having that vision, that ultimate place that you're working towards, and it keeps me on track. So I kind of live in proof that, not heard of it, okay. So it keeps me on track, and I came across this as part of this goal setting piece around, well, where are you actually looking to take yourself? Where are you looking to challenge yourself to achieve certain things? So the law of compensation comes from the sort of group of schools of thought which came out of some American business school. Now this is literally all my very recent research, so well, where is it even evolved from? And there's things like the law of attraction also comes into play in this as well. So this is really about saying that we have to recognise that the world, the universe has a certain pull in certain things. So the law of attraction is a great one. You know, you get out what you put in, and actually the message that you send out into the world is then what you attract back. This is a sort of along the same lines, but it is backed up by quite a lot of study and an element of science behind it as well. So it's got 3 parts to it. So I've had to write them down because this isn't totally ingrained in me yet, but I'm loving getting absorbed in it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to share early on, and actually in a little while when I've done a little bit more work from my perspective, I'm going to share again and just sort of review what I've already shared and see whether it sits with me in a different way. So there's 3 elements to this law, and where it comes from is about what you earn. Now, there are some, so let's just clarify this before we dive into the definition. There are some people who aren't necessarily predominantly setting up their own business and establishing themselves to earn more money. They don't want to be millionaires. They don't want to have a house on the beach. They need enough. They're looking to earn enough to have a comfortable life. But where I'm coming from with this is I'm not necessarily talking about that high top end sort of tiny percentage of the population that really have that desire to push themselves on to live that huge, great big life and earn a potload of money. I'm talking about this in the context of whatever feels right for you. So when we talk about earning and compensation, I don't want you to think, well, that's not really me, because I'm just looking to be able to pay my mortgage, live a comfortable life, and be able to say yes a little bit more. Because we have to be really clear that money for all of us it's an enabler. It allows us to be more. And this is a phrase that I heard again recently, and I love it. It allows us to be more. Does this resonate with anybody? Because it certainly, straight away as I heard this phrase, I thought, yes, that's true. It allows us to do more of what we wish to do. If you want to give back, it allows you to do more of that. If you want to do more with your family, it allows you to do more of that. It allows you to take the time with with your loved ones, to be more you. What a beautiful way of looking at it. And we've all got our own money stories that have been evolved over our experiences in our life and our exposure to money and what it does to both ourselves and to others. And I think it can really shape how we look on our business. And that's probably a topic for a whole different catch up, because the way that we have our relationship with money in our personal life carries into our business life. You know, whether we're very much earn it before we spend it, which is what I was certainly brought up to believe. You know, earn it before you spend it. Don't take before you've kind of deserved it. But actually, if you live that in one context of your life, then you tend to live it in another. So I was certainly at first very risk averse in terms of what I would do with my business, and I can't yet because the business isn't at certain this and this. But that piece around having more allows you to be more. So to invest more, to be able to say yes to having time off, you know, all these beautiful things that having some additional funds allow us to do. So that is where I'm coming from here. I'm not sharing this with you in a we've all got to strive to be millionaires, because that might not be your driving factor. So Emma says, sounds like a good idea. Fabulous. Right, so let's go into the first stage. So it's worth noting this, because I've had to read this and let each one sort of settle in my own mind. So the law of compensation says what you earn is an exact compensation for 3 different elements. So an exact compensation. Now, we all know compensation means something that you receive for something that you have given, but isn't that even that phrase, the word compensation? So what you earn is an exact compensation for the first element, the need for what you do. Okay, need for what you do. Let's stay on that one for a minute. So is there in life a requirement for what you do? Well, to some degree there always is, and it's about understanding where you fit. So I truly believe that everybody has like a little space in the universe, in the world, for them to be able to do their thing. Now, depending on the more you're able to create a need for and not justify, but explain why people need your service, your product, the more you're going to be able to sort of lean into that first element. So let's go to the second one, because we're gonna loop back around again. Oh, Zosha, hi, lovely. I don't know why your comment didn't come up. It's just popped in. The more you give, the more you get. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so first one, the need for what you do. The second one, your ability to do it. Now, how does that make everybody feel? Your ability. So we can read them all in one go. Oh, it's thundering now. What you earn is an exact compensation for, number 2, your ability to do it. So for me, that is around giving my all to what I choose to do. It's about perfecting my art. It's about being the absolute best that I can be at the thing I want to be. But also for me, there's more to this. This is more about me allowing myself to be myself, rather than, okay, I'm going to go and be trained by the most expensive public speaker I can get, so that my lives are like perfect and in every single way, and I'm going to go and learn the exact blueprint as to how to convince somebody to buy from me. For me, it's not about that. For me, it is about understanding on a broadest range possible my ability to do my thing. Now, depending on what your business is, your service, your product, it could be that you have to literally get yourself to the point of having the most amount of skill you can. So Emma, using musicians as a great example, there's a whole heap of range of musicians. There's those people who are really interested, they're very passionate about it, they love doing it, they're doing it for pleasure. And then you've got the people who are at the top of their game, filling concert halls, filling stadiums, because of their ability to draw those people in. Now, I'm sure with music, everyone has a view as to where they sit on the true ability scale, but it's about being the best that you can absolutely be in whatever guise that looks like. Does this make sense? So if you think of an example around your particular chosen subject, your passion, what it is you take to the world, have a think around what can you do to improve your ability. You know, what is it you need to be doing? Do you need to be challenging yourself a little bit more? Do you need to be getting your message out there more? Do you need to be learning your skill and honing your ability to do your thing better, so that you can get yourself to that point where you know that your ability warrants that compensation? And then the final one, now this, I love this one, the difficulty in replacing you. Whoa. So this I love, because this is all about you. This is not about you saying, but I've got to be as good as that person, I've got to be able to do it just like them, I need to be better than that person, I've got to copy what they do and replicate it because they're at the top of their game. No, because they are not you. It's about you having that uniqueness about you that therefore makes you irreplaceable. So if I take this into a corporate environment, which is a really easy way of me being able to illustrate these 3 points in one go. So in the hierarchy of the people that would work in a particular organisation, will remain nameless, there was effectively like a call centre. They took calls, they made calls, and these people followed, not quite a script, but they followed a routine. Now, those people would come and go really quickly, and the reason was because they were low down on the scale of all these things. So yes, there was some element of need of what they do, but actually the business was looking at automating what it was they did, so that people hit the business and then went through a kind of automated process, which was the same as this person. So actually the need was, yes, there was some level of need, but it didn't have to necessarily be that person. The ability to do it, well, some of them were better than others, but actually how they were compensated for that didn't really matter. They needed to hit certain numbers, but it wasn't really strict. And then the difficulty in replacing them, again, lower than low in terms of that scale, because literally the agency would just keep providing these people who were happy to just answer the phone, go through this process and replace. So you can imagine those were the lowest paid of the hierarchy of the business, because they didn't score highly on any of these things. Now, I had never for 1 minute considered this in this context before. I just saw them as being effectively a business resource that kind of naturally churned because people got bored. But it was because of these things, I now see. So let's go to the other extreme. So I worked in a business where there was a very strong, charismatic sales manager. And he ended up, in the time I was there, going to sales director and then ultimately to the MD of the business. Now, he effectively became the business. If there was any new potential prospect conversations, he would be there. He lived and breathed the business. He knew the processes. He knew what the systems were capable of. He knew how to get people motivated to do and make changes. But he also knew how to take that message passionately and with real drive out to the customers as well. Now, if you took him and his personality out of that business, they would not have won the new customers, the teams wouldn't be motivated, and they wouldn't have been able to push themselves on. So all of those things that we've just been through, was there a need for what he did? Absolutely. He needed to lead, he needed to get in new customers, and he needed to get that relationship initially off the ground with those prospects. His ability to do it, he was a sight to behold. It was impressive to be in a meeting with him. His ability to be able to speak, to adapt his message to different people. He was absolutely skilled at his particular chosen art form, shall we call it. And then the difficulty in replacing him, absolutely. He'd got probably 20 years of experience in the business, and he knew everything about it inside and out. So he was, in the true sense of the word, irreplaceable in that business. So of course he was at the other end of the scale in terms of his compensation. He was paid because of all those different elements and had effectively earned that along the way. Zosha's loving this today. When you work for others, they measure your productivity and value, yeah, but as a self-employed person, we should be doing the same and make sure we compensate ourselves too. Yes, that's true. On whatever level that is as well, let's be really clear, because you can compensate yourself by saying, I'm going to have the afternoon off, to Zosha, sit in a paddling pool with your feet like sloshing around in the water and keeping cool. For me, I like doing things in the house, and because it was so too hot yesterday, I went and did some painting, like decorating painting. I was compensating myself with the fact that I work most evenings because it's cooler and it's quiet when the children are asleep. So it's about that sort of trade, isn't it? So what do we think? Share with me your thoughts around these three. Where do you think you can see examples of it where this is true? So I've shared that corporate one with you. But do you recognise that in yourself as well? And is there one, perhaps, of those three, is there a need, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you? Given what you do now and your business or your business idea and where you're looking to develop that, where are you not as strong? Is there something that you know you can do to work towards, to better yourself, to raise that ability one, maybe, to get the help you need to develop your business, to work on finding where that need is and placing yourself. So when we say need, let's loop back while you're sharing your thoughts on this with me. Let's loop back to the need, because I don't want anybody getting in a little bit of there's no, what I provide is a extra fulfillment or life enrichment type product or service. If you can still find the need, and that is about your ideal client. Everything we do comes back to talking about your ideal client, because once you take your product or service to the right person, then there is a need, there is a requirement in their life, because look at all this stuff they're missing, look at what they're not enjoying, look at the way that their life might end up going on this path, which is not a good one if you don't intervene, provide them with your gift, and then they're going to be able to go this way. There was a massive flash of lightning then. Did anybody see it? There'll be thunder in a minute. So the requirement to make your business a need is down to you and the way that you position it to the world and to your ideal client. So if you're comfortable, you know that, you've done that, then, great, give me a tick on, yeah, I'm good with the need. Can you hear that? Oh my goodness. Thankfully, nobody in my house, dogs or kids, are frightened, but if they did, literally things have shook. Second one is your ability. Where do you genuinely feel like you are on that scale? Are you, yeah, I'm okay, but there's loads of people better than me? Are you on that, I'm doing all right, but I still need to work on myself, I need to develop my skill, my craft, my this? And if so, what are you doing about that? Because if you're constantly working on that improvement, that self-development, then look, you're shifting yourself up that scale. And there is a law that says, as soon as you shift yourself up that scale, you have that right to be able to be compensated for it. And then the final one, where are you on the difficulty in replacing you? Now, there will be others doing what you do. Of course there will. So how are you making yourself unique? What are you bringing that other people aren't? How are you positioning you as an individual? What of your personality are you bringing? Come on, share with me. Where are you on those scales? Which one concerns you most? Which one of all of them, if actually we could wave a magic wand and say, here you go, we're gonna sort out 1, 2 or 3. So your need for what you do and get establishing that, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. So give me a scale. Which one do you think you need to work on a little bit more? There's been another flash. Wait, it's so exciting. I love a thunderstorm. Far too hot for tea or coffee this morning. Juice all the way. We're going to take this to another level, so I want to make sure you're still with me. Brilliant. Okay, so Emma says, I think you need to tap into people's need more. Yeah, brilliant. So from a need perspective, that's really about already knowing who it is you want to serve, narrowing it down to your ideal client, and then being very clear on what I describe as being a ideal client's dark place versus light place. I've done a live on this before, but very, very briefly, it's about saying, you know, what are some of the emotions that they feel either right now or that they don't have the opportunity to feel versus what could they feel. And Emma, your example of the mum who sang at her son's wedding is a brilliant place to start. So think about all the emotions that she felt around the desire to want to do it, and then what did she feel at the end? You know, all of these uplifting, positive emotions that she felt. If you can tap into, well, look what you're lacking. So it's not a life or death, because there's genuinely not very many of us that are in that position. You know, thankfully, those people have an amazing place in the world. But we're talking about the enrichment, the development, and the adding that piece to people's lives, aren't we? So it's all the positive emotions that come from what you do and being able to describe those. That's where you can really get under the skin of the need. Okay, where's my next going? Let's take this to another level, because I really like this concept, but then rolling it forward a little way, because it's really about understanding, okay, so it's great that I know this stuff. I can work on my 1, 2 and 3 and how I feel about each of those elements. I'll pop this in a bit more detail into the comments when I post the video, by the way. So there's another couple of quotes that I want to share, which I've been mulling over, and I've almost had one of those, oh my goodness, let the penny drop moments when I've been researching this. So the thing with this law of compensation is that it isn't instantaneous. It's not an instantaneous return. So it's not a case of saying, okay, well, I've taken I've made sure I understand the need, and I'm talking to the right people who have that need. I've improved my ability to do my thing a little bit more, and I've made myself sort of a little bit more unique in terms of my that I'd be challenging, difficult to replace. Therefore, I need to be returning the bigger compensation. I should be getting more back now. It's not an instant thing. And the way that I've seen this put into words is just beautiful. And this is really old. Delayed gratification, yes, absolutely. So this is from, I found a clip of this guy actually reading these words, or saying these words himself, and it's like a really old, probably 50s black and white film from an American guy. So here we go. Money is the result of being successful, which is in direct proportion to the amount of service you provide. Sounds really simple, doesn't it? Well, yeah, obviously. Money is the result of being successful, which is in direct proportion to the amount of service you provide. So let's think about that in the context of our own businesses. None of us can expect to just put ourselves out there, day 0, open up your business for trade, get a client, and get that client to pay for you immediately. That does not work. And as soon as that kind of, oh, of course not. You have to give before you can receive. In relation to this, so I'll tell you who said that. So money is a result of being successful, which is in direct proportion to the amount of service you provide. That is from The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. Again, I'll pop this in case anyone wants to look at it more. But the principle of this, there goes the thunder again, is that money, I'm feeling quite strange about doing this today, by the way, just as a total aside. Like with this thunderstorm going on, and like I've got goosebumps. Zoshi, you're really into your energy thing, but like I've got a bit of goosebumpy stuff going on. And when I was out listening to this on a podcast and a discussion the other day, and I was properly having like that kind of, oh wow, I've tapped into something here, this feels big, this feels deep, and I'm going to really dwell on it. So the summary of that quote is that money is the result of success. Now we can change the word money, we can change it to gratification, fulfillment is the result of success, not the other way round. And as soon as I got that, I was kind of, yes, of course, that absolutely makes sense, doesn't it? But actually most people see it the other way around. They want to have the money and then therefore they'll feel successful. Well, money doesn't necessarily balance that you're successful if you have money. What if you inherited or won the lottery? That doesn't mean you're successful. That means you have a lot of money. You can be successful without having money because you are fulfilled, you're doing what you absolutely love doing. You can feel successful every single day. You can choose to feel successful. But the more you live into that I am successful, the more that you will want to give, and givers always gain. That's the beautiful thing. So you have to add value first before trying to take to earn from it. You've got to earn it. You know you have to. In one of these it said, we talk about making money. People want to make money, but the only people that this literally made me smile. The only people that make money are those that work in a mint. Everybody else has to earn money, and that is the money that you will allocate to success. So as I say, you could win the lottery, you could take a huge inheritance. That will mean that you'll have money, but that doesn't mean you're successful. If you earn money, then that means you have become successful. But turn it round, become successful first, and then the money will come. Zosha, doing what 90% of people aren't prepared to do so that you can live the life 90% only dream of. Yes, love it, love it, love it. Oh, you're loving it, cool. Okay, so there's one other element while the thunder rumbles on in the background. It's just feeling like super dramatic today, like I've got the world aligning with me and the energy and okay, so the one other element is sowing and reaping. Now, farming, of course, is the oldest thing in the world, isn't it? We've had to farm for years and years. And the way I want you to kind of expand your thinking into this is that everything you do is sowing the seeds for your future. You sow now to reap tomorrow. And when we talk about this whole law of compensation, I want you to think of it as being that longer term. So this ties in with that, it's not instantaneous. So if you sow today, you are going to reap in the future. That is just the natural rhythm of the world. That is how life, you get back what you put in. I think, Zosha, you said that in a better way than me earlier on. Somebody did. So in relation to that, there's one more quote I'm going to share with you. Returns are minimal despite massive effort at the start. Now, who is feeling that? I absolutely felt like I was going to be forever in that phase. Like I was working, and it felt like every penny, every pound that I earned was almost unjustifiable because of the amount of hours that I put in. And I absolutely remember how difficult that period of time was to push past that. So I'll say it again, returns are minimal despite massive effort at the start, yet returns can be massive with minimum effort over time. So that's that elongated, so it's almost, it's a chart, isn't it, where you've got effort versus return, and actually at the start you end up being right up here, but whichever way around it is. So you're really low with your return, but you're massively high in the effort. But just consider it, rather than being, oh, this is so frustrating, trust in the universe doing its thing. Trust in these laws which are present in our life, everyday lives, all the time. And if you relax into that, it feels so different. It feels like you're waiting, you're trusting, you've got to have the patience. So minimal return for massive effort early days, but then that is going to switch to be the other way around, so that you end up having a way of being able to have, because of all of this that you've already done, all the work that you've put in already, you're going to be able to then switch that, so actually you can get the bigger returns for the smaller amount of hard work, effort, the toil, the I've got to push all the time, because it will start to feel more natural. And all of this is on that process of serving, putting your stuff out there. You know, let me read Josh's. You can't sit there with a checklist waiting for compensation to come. No, you've got to have faith. Yes. Yeah, watch pot never boils. Yeah, like that. Yeah, you've got to just leave it and trust it. So let's bring this back to here and now and what this means for our business. What I have taken from this already is I need to be more patient. So I'm an instant, like get through stuff quickly. I run on a fairly kind of energetic, ticking over quite quickly. I'm the person that used to tap their foot in a meeting. Come on, let's get on. Move us on. And I've been working very hard on trying to keep my own patience and trusting in the process. And I've heard lots of coaches say to me, you need to just trust, you need to relax, you need to know you're taking the right action, trust. But it still wasn't enough, because I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted. What I now know is that when I keep turning up, when I keep delivering for you guys, when I keep developing myself, again, coming to that, my ability to do my thing, I'm improving my ability to do my thing all the time. We talked about this last night, and in the context of video, I can now switch this on and chat with you we've been on half an hour already. And it's not a problem for me at all. But when I first started, it was horrible, and I'd go live and it'd be like, get it over as quick as possible, and it would just be horrid. Didn't enjoy it. It didn't kind of come across very well. But I've kept pushing and doing it. So I'm improving my ability to be able to serve, be able to impart the knowledge that I'm learning all the time. And as long as you are doing that and you're sharing with people, you're giving without assuming you're going to receive, then that balance has to tip, doesn't it? You're giving, you're giving value, you're putting something that has a purpose out into the world without assuming, without expecting. You know, we've seen sort of kids' cartoons, and there's stories about someone handing something over and then going, right, come on then, give me the money for that, as opposed to the person that just gives, and then lo and behold, they get back twice over. There are fables, there are kids' nursery rhymes, there's things that all relate to this, but who was tuned into it from their business perspective? I absolutely was not. But now I'm going to really explore this. I'm going to explore how I feel about all of these things. I'm going to look at my 3, defining the need, making sure that I'm really, really clear on the need for what I do, my ability to do it. I'm constantly working on myself. I've constantly got somebody who is challenging me to do something different, to think about things in different ways, to push myself forward, to improve. And then the difficulty in replacing me. That has to be because I have a unique element, and I have still to really, really tune that unique element to know that I can just take my thing to the world. And you are all exactly the same. It's about having that trust, that faith in what you can do, improving it, absolutely, getting as good as you can possibly get, taking the time, being dedicated, putting in the hours, doing the work, because knowing that in time, all that work, that hard work with the compensation is low, the universe will switch you. But if you're sitting here doing a little bit of work and expecting your return to be out here, you're going to be waiting forever. You need to do the work to allow the compensation to come and for these laws to kick in. Share with me what you think. I'm going to have another slurp of my orange. I think it's going to start to rain now. Share. This has been a bit more of a deep session today, but I've loved it. But there's a whole heap more. Like, there's a huge exploration that we can all do around this. I'm going to pop some additional text in the top of the post so you can see those 3. But I want you to dwell on this. I want you to have faith and to consider where you might be. Are you in that impatient, I've just got to get this blooming done, because that energy is sapping for you, and it's sapping for those that might want to work with you. If you're just trusting, then you can find joy in what you do every single day. Now, I'm not talking about giving away your stuff for free forevermore. Of course I'm not, because we all need to earn. We've got bills, we've got mortgages. What I'm talking about is being able to freely give something. So put some content out there, put some posts into places, give what you know, share what you do, without the expectation that this might bring in a client. Well, why has nobody now contacted me to start working with me? Well, because you were expecting them to. You know, that when I talk to my children and that, you know, they say, or, you know, can I this, then that, you know, A follows B. I'm trying to teach them that A doesn't always follow B. There is a difference, and actually the fact that you do something to help out in the house does not mean you're going to get paid for it. It's a thing that you do. But you know what? If we go out and they say, you know, can I have a whatever in the shop, I'll say yes, because all that sort of positive behaviour has built to end up being able to compensate them. It works in the same way. I didn't even know that that's what I was doing. At times I thought I was just being mean. But, you know, you've got to do the work to be able to earn that compensation. Sasha says, oh, it's absolutely bouncing with rain now. Sorry if no one else. Has anybody else got the storms, by the way? If you show up in your own life as the best version of yourself, the universe has your back. Yes, do the work. Okay, we are going to leave it there. I'm going to put some additional notes and references into the top of this post. I'd love to know what your reflections are on it. Share with me what you're going to take forward. Are you going to look at one particular ones of those points? And, you know, let's keep up the debate on this, because I really think that this can be like an untapped, oh yeah, aha moment. You know, there goes the thunder again. It's been lovely to have you here. Thank you for watching live. I'm going to go make sure that, I don't think I've got washing out. Go and have a great day. I hope this plants a seed of an idea that you can start to think about and start to develop a little bit more for yourselves. I'll see you very, very soon back in here. Don't forget, we've opened the registration for the next challenge. We start on Monday the 24th of August. There's going to be a prep day though on Friday the 21st. So this challenge, totally new. So if you've ever done any of my challenges before, this is totally different. Whole new agenda. It's across 3 days, and it is using funky new acronym, a STAR methodology. So STAR now stands for, I'm trying to concentrate, but literally it's like there's fireworks going off outside. Strategies and tools, actions and results. So for combining those 4 elements, and because I love a star, these 3 stars, by the way, are my boys, my husband and my 2 children, is what they represent. So my STAR methodology is around being able to take the strategies and tools you need, so that's the actionable, like a plan, like a list, do the doing, taking the action and taking the aligned action to get the results that you want. So my next challenge, end of August, is taking you through those 3 days of, we're going to do strategies and tools in 1 day, we're going to do taking the actions and getting the results. It's massive. We're using PowerPoint slides this time, absolutely live. I'm not pre-recording them because there seems to be loads of people talking about doing lives and then it's so not live. Absolutely, I'll be live just as I am here. We're 8 o'clock. If you register, you're going to be in with a chance to go into a draw for a really big prize. There's going to be giveaways, there's going to be updates every day. I'll pop the link into the bottom of this again so you can register. They will be in here, so you don't have to join a different group or be anywhere else. It's not in a sort of Zoom meeting or anything like that. But if you register, you are getting those additional benefits of getting the updates. And I know how many people I'm likely to have, which is always good to know. So go and check that out. There's loads more information on the registration page as to what we're going to cover. Go and have an amazing last few days of your week. If you have got the storms, I hope you like them. If you don't, I think they're on the way and it's going to cool down tomorrow, hopefully. So go and enjoy the rest of your week, and it's been lovely to be with you. See you soon. Bye. Bye.